G'day guys, how you going? Stevo Djanda here. Just wanted to say thank you to all the new followers that have joined me on my Facebook page and also my YouTube channel. It's been great to be able to share some fresh content, and I'm really excited to be able to start getting some new followers, because since I returned from Cape York last year, I had a bit of a break, bit of digital detox, because I was spending too much time with Facebook. And when you're not traveling and living in the moment doing adventure, it's pretty hard to think of original content. But since going to Thailand, I managed to purchase this tripod and have a go for the first time of filming myself speaking about my adventures and just things in general that might interest you. And obviously it is interesting you, because I've gained some followers on both Facebook and on YouTube. So thanks guys, really appreciate it. And what I'm going to share with you today is one of the ways that I make traveling between 3 and 4 months each year affordable, and that is by simply saving money on accommodation. First of all, I camp only when I have to. I like a good night's sleep in a bed, because the way I ride is on the throttle, and pretty much if you're doing that, you need to have a restful night. So I'll camp when I can't find accommodation, but accommodation can get expensive, okay, especially when you're staying away for a few months at a time. So one thing I've done every year, I've managed to do deals with people, through people that I get on with, in order to stay for free at their place or their accommodation or wherever it may be. So in 2021 I was camping in Kununurra, exploring the magnificent Kimberley region, and there's a lovely couple camping behind me that got on with me really well. I got on with them really well, and they said, when you come back to Broome, come and stay with us. So I did. When I got back to Broome, I stayed with him for a friggin' month, and it was awesome. And he was a mechanic, and I would help him with some of his mechanical work, and she was Filipino. She was a magnificent cook, and I'd throw a few dollars towards the food each week. But geez, she cooked phenomenal food: spring rolls, fried rice, you name it, every bloody day, omelettes for breakfast. It was friggin' I was living the dream with that particular one. So that was in 2021. In 2022, I only spent one night at a guy's place that I met when I had a flat tyre. That was Ian and his beautiful wife in Queensland, and they invited me back to their place after having a flat tyre. They said, "Want to stay the night?" And that one was purely just sharing my adventure with them. That was not really a deal. He helped me with the tyre and then asked me if I wanted to stay. On the way down to Phillip Island, that trip wasn't as big, so I didn't really have the opportunity to do any deals with anyone. But in 2023, when I headed up to Arnhem Land, I met a guy by the name of Coco who sold Indigenous art and didgeridoos, and I went down to the back of this property in Katherine and thought, oh yeah, what's this place? This looks pretty cool. I was all in the middle of Katherine, yet there was this place that looked really kind of remote through the back. I wouldn't even think that in the main town. Anyway, this old bloke comes out and says, "G'day mate, how you going?" And got chatting to him, and yeah, little did you know that I'd end up staying with him 3 times. Like, I went to Arnhem Land for a month, I came back and stayed with him. I went to Darwin, came back and stayed with him before I headed back through the Kimberley region. But yeah, all in all, it was 2 or 3 times. And what I did for him was I helped him. He was in the process of selling that property and buying another one in Adelaide River, and he was under a lot of pressure at the time and stress, and I could see that when I came back from Arnold. And I said, "Look, just let me help pack up your artworks and foam wrap all your didgeridoos. They're beautiful, awesome artworks and didgeridoos from the top end. That's who do you trust with that sort of stuff?" And I said, "Look, I've been in business for 33 years for myself." I said, "I'd love to help you," and in return, he gave me accommodation. He had like a backpackers and accommodation, and I had a full studio to myself the whole time I was there. But just by helping this guy out, so it's a win-win situation. And then basically, oh that's right, in 2023 I also met another couple in that same year when I travelled across to Kimberley. There was a couple that there was a lady I bought a tank top from the Broome markets, and I said, oh, I'm looking for someone to stay while I'm here, and I was wondering if you could point me in the right direction, being a local, and ended up staying with them. It was surprisingly another Filipino lady. So our husband was Aussie, no different to the other couple, Bob and Ging in Broome. This was another couple in Broome that allowed me to stay with them, and in return I did a bit of, being a landscaper by trade, I did a bit of landscaping for them, so I did a bit of reticulation, created a veggie patch out the back for them, a raised garden bed, trellis and all that, cleaned up a big section, made it dog proof. They had a couple of dogs that were snapping at me the whole time I was there. Every time I'd leave, these dogs would latch onto me. It was hilarious. So I had to ring the ladies. I was like, I'm trying to get out of the house. I said, these dogs won't let me go. So that was a really fun moment. And then last year, going up to into Arnhem Land, and then through to Cairns, and then up to Cape York, I managed to get, not through accommodation, but purely by doing the right thing by businesses and giving them a good review, I managed to get discounts. So I never expect to get discounts from reviews, but it's certainly, if I've had a good experience, I'm happy to give a good review. If I have a shit experience, then I just don't give a review, full stop. But something else I've done over the years is, because I've been in business myself, I try and give 5-star service all the time, and I appreciate it when I get a review from a very happy customer. It's hard to get reviews from customers. I ask sometimes, but not all the time. So if you get a review and it's a nice one about the service that you've offered, people appreciate that. So I'm happy to do that throughout my travels, and I only do it, like I said, with the businesses that I've had good service from. So that's also part of how I save money, and it's not my be all and end all, but it's just simply a way of having a good night's sleep in a decent bed, so I can ride this big beast of a bike properly. But at the same time, if you want to save more money, then obviously you can camp. There's camping in the bush, there's heaps of places throughout Australia that you can camp for free. But personally, that's not my be all and end all, because it's not really comfortable for me based on my setup. Not unless I've got a big water bed that I can actually add some water or something and make it real comfortable. My air mattress doesn't cut it for me, so I'll use it when I have to, or if I want to. But 9 times out of 10, I'm a guy that likes to stay in a proper bed, so I can enjoy the following day's ride. And yeah, I just thought I'd share that experience with you guys for anyone that's looking at doing bigger, adventures, or how to make it more affordable. I've always been a deal maker throughout my whole life. It's just something that I've done since a young age. Happy to do a bit of this for a bit of that, and it's still alive and well out there. Not everyone can afford to get something done, but if you do a deal with someone, it can save you money and also save them money, and you get to make friendships as well, which is always a real bonus. Hope you enjoyed this video. Talk to you soon. Stevo Djanda.